It is Friday, so happy Friday. I'm going to share Fast Five, so things that you should think about when you're building a company of significance. And I think we all want to build something that is significant and could outlast all of us. So here we go. The first one's going to be the value maturity matrix and how to determine what stage your business is in. It's probably a term that you haven't heard of before. It's something that us certified exit planning advisors utilize. And it's basically a 5-step process where you are in your business. So when we're looking at accelerating the business, one of the first things we want to do is we identify value and areas of opportunity. That's step one. Step two is protect. So kind of like a doctor, do no harm, that type of thing. We want to protect some of that stuff. Then we go into the build phase. We're building things to increase value. And then eventually you want to harvest that, which is, hey, I want to look at extracting some of the value from my business. A lot of times that looks like a sale, partial sale, or full. And then you get to manage your resources afterwards and manage your life. And so that's the 5 stages. And a lot of people skip over the first 2 stages and they're really just in the build stage. And that's when it's kind of useful to maybe look up and be like, oh, maybe I need to do some risk reduction in the protect stage and protect some of what I'm building, and or identify opportunities. Maybe I'm not building in the right place. So that's what CPAs do, is we help you make sure that you're building in the right place. So the next one, let me find my list here because I don't have them all memorized today. It is, why mom and pop shops close with nothing to show. And this is pretty personal because it says, this was my mom's skateboard shop. A lot of times it's just liquidation value that's there. They basically, think that they have a business and it looks like they have a business, but ultimately it's a job because that business doesn't work if they don't show up. And reality is most businesses just never get that big, and that's okay. But if part of your strategy is to have something that can be transferred to somebody else someday, then you have to, start creating value. You have to create something that is bigger than yourself. Otherwise, probably just shuts down. And that's where, 80% of businesses that get listed on the market, they just never sell. Difference between making money and building value. So you can just make money and not build value, but you can't build value and not make money. Woo! So when you're building, let's just talk about making money, profiting in your business. You can do that. Let's use the example of my mom's business. You can do that and not have something that's valuable. But you can't have something that's valuable that doesn't make money, because that's part of the value equation. So something that's a value creation engine, something that goes out and actually creates more than just income, creates something that can be transferred to somebody else one day, something that somebody would pay you for, is just a company of significance. And it means that you built systems and you've got resources and things like that, technology, whatever, that is the business, and it's not just built around one person. Business attractiveness versus readiness. So a business can be ready to transfer, but it may not be attractive. So what does that mean? Let's use the analogy of a house. I can be ready to sell a house as is. A house that's maybe distressed, had renters in it, the renters trashed the place, the copper got stripped out of it. That asset can be sold. It can be ready to sell. Is it attractive? It might be attractive to the right person, but is it attractive to maximize the amount of return for the seller? No. And that's the same thing as a business. Like, a lot of my work as a certified exit planning advisor is to go in and help shine up the company, help prove the things that matter, help demonstrate that to a prospective acquiring party. And that makes it more attractive. It also makes it more expensive for that company and is better for the seller. And so those are really the difference between attractiveness and readiness. I think a lot of businesses can be ready to sell, but they may not be necessarily attractive. And if it's not attractive, then you're not going to get the highest return on your investment. So there you go. Last one, value factors that buyers are thinking about right now. Most buyers always just want predictable income stream. So if you have recurring revenue, if you have locked in contracts, if you're in a month-to-month contract scenario, it's going to be very unattractive. I just got to say that out loud. It's going to be very unattractive to buyers. There's not a lot there. So you want to work towards having fixed term agreements. You want to work towards having monthly recurring revenue and or annual recurring revenue, because they want that free cash flow. They want that predictable cash flow stream so that they can dip into that. Other things, a unique brand can be super, super valuable. So having just extreme points of differentiation. You talk about Warren Buffett's business partner, his name's Charlie Munger. He's actually deceased. He died last year or this year. But we always used to talk about a defensible moat around a business. and a moat being a point of a defensible market position. It's a lot of why I look at, I got things like this on my desk, Sun Tzu, thinking about strategy, because if you have a defensible market position, if you have something that's unique in the marketplace, that's going to get a higher yield when you go to sell that asset, your business. And so extreme points of differentiation, predictability in the cash flow stream, the decentralization of the owner and or whoever's going to stay along as well, so that they're not just buying themselves a job. Those are some very, very big value factors. And this is the year and the future, I think, where brand actually is really rewarded in the market space, which goes along with differentiation. I'll see you all next week. Have a great weekend. See ya.